Greetings nerdy list aficionados and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Today we're taking a look at some more alternate versions who may be better than the original, with the caveat mileage varies. There's also not as many alternate Catwoman as you would think. Is that because the original is so good? You tell me. Also, RIP her first origin. I'll never be over year one. But that's enough meandering from me. I'm Sasha and these are the top 10 alternate versions of Catwoman better than the original. Let's get started. Number 10. Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come is a famous miniseries from 1996 with gorgeous art throughout by Alex Ross. This is an Elseworld story featuring an aged superhero population who have largely moved on to make way for the next generation. However, they're largely meta spawn and new heroes are much more violent and more anti-hero-y, so brutal. The type of hero when they tell you they saved you, you go, but did you though? This project was pitched as similar in scope to Watchmen. Is it? You decide. In this universe, Catwoman is retired and she runs a multi-billion-dollar cosmetics company. So maybe the 2004 Catwoman took a note from this, but then was like, you know what else is awesome? The Silver Age and basketball. Catwoman is mostly seen in the background and hanging out with the Riddler, who has such a good redemption arc main verse, then they retconned it and now they're trying to make him some kind of like god tier villain, so we'll see how that goes. I like the idea of Catwoman just having an awesome life, with or without Bruce. Number 9. Catwoman Beyond. Batman Beyond, Batman of the Future. Once the animated series ended, there was a comic series that continued on in that universe. And in that series, there were some more legacy villains introduced. One of those was Catwoman. But this was a very different Catwoman from Selina. This Catwoman was the daughter of Danton Black, a villain known as Multiplex. He was a Firestorm villain, whose name makes me think of a parking garage. She goes by Black, and she inherited her father's duplication abilities, however she can't make limitless copies of herself, she can only make 9. Hence, Catwoman is a choice, cause cats have 9 lives. I don't know, I'd always be afraid the other copies would try and take me out, like the Batman episode. An underrated series that had some solid episodes. Check it out. She would start off having a rivalry with Terry McGinnis, Batman, or the Tomorrow Knight as they sometimes call him, but would eventually end up liking him and help him when Hush resurfaced. So it was a fun dynamic. Catwoman of the future. Number 8. Catwoman Batman Ninja. Batman Ninja, what an experience. The Japanese samurai AU film that nobody asked for but most are okay with existing. So Batman is sent back in time to feudal Japan, and it turns out that everybody got there before him and established themselves because of how they got back. They got back via a quake engine, and Batman was furthest away from the explosion so he got there last. The Joker is already running samurai, so Batman is told what is going on by Catwoman, who is just rocking it in feudal Japan. The two of them need to team up and go to the quake engine while dealing with Gotham's criminals who have become crime lords. I love the idea that they would all overcome language and custom barriers and become crime lords and, you know, not just die of period typical diseases. That's the dream. Going back in time is only cool if you don't think about it too hard. My time travel threshold would be like 1980. Ooh, so far back in time. Leg warmers. Number 7. EARTHA KITT. If I could roll my R's for EARTHA, I would, but I can't and it'd never be as good anyway. EARTHA KITT was the second actress to play Catwoman on the 60s series. This was a big deal, particularly for the time. She was the first African-American actress to portray Catwoman. They just went for it. She meshes so well with the rest of the cast, and of course has the requisite chemistry with Batman, though they play that down because it's the 60s and that's still scandalous. They couldn't even show the her and Kirk kiss, which is around the same time period, face on. They had to shoot it to the side, you know, in case some old ladies somewhere fainted, clutching pearls, or, you know, something more sinister. Is that gonna happen? The 60s Batman series is remembered for its camp, but it was clever and pushed boundaries and had some great performances, like EARTHA KITT as Catwoman. Also, she had a song, I Wanna Be Evil, that is perfect for her role in this. If you can handle the different style of old TV, then def check her out. Just the poise and confidence she oozes the entire time. She loves being Catwoman, and you, the audience, love her too. Number 6. Catwoman, Guardian of Gotham. So in this story, she's just Batman. Her parents are Thomas and Martha Kyle, gunned down in front of her in an alley. And if that happens to anyone, you become a vigilante. Something about alleyways that just make you crave justice and vengeance. So why did she become Catwoman? Well, she ran into that alley after a stray cat. Still better than a bat flying through your window though. Selina is a no-nonsense protector of Gotham City, going up against the mysterious and sinister Batman, whose design I love. He looks very vampiric. Yet at the same time, she becomes involved with and even marries Bruce Wayne. It's a cool series, but it's very heavy on the cheesecake, and this is me saying it so you know they must have used like 2 extra tubs of cheese. It's not the bustier that you could not possibly fight crime in. Do you know how tight those things are? You could break your hand. Maybe it's armor. No, it's femme Two-Face, who is wearing half business skirt, half dominatrix thong combo on the other side. This series is 2 issues and full of 90s goodness. Check it out if you haven't already. This Selina could break your arm just by looking at you, and it's great. Purple lipstick. Number 5. The Nail, Batwoman. JLA The Nail is a famous Elseworld story wherein the course of history is drastically altered because the Kents hit a nail on the road while going home, and hence never find Clark. The Justice League and other heroes still emerge, but it looks very different. One of the characters who this really affects is Selina Kyle, who is declared not insane by doctors at Arkham, but more someone who loves a thrill, hence her game of cat and mouse with Batman. She actually ends up joining Batman as Batwoman. This is after the death of Robin at the hands of the Joker, which temporarily pushes Bruce over the edge, but Selina and Alfred help get him out of it. But there's this really awkward panel of Selina in the Robin costume that people just love to take out of context, and it looks really odd out of context. Just why? Batman and Selina team up for the win. It could work, you know, unless it's animated Hush. Oh my god, Bruce, I changed for you. Why won't you change for me? Why won't you just kill people? The Nail, worth reading, and so is its less than equal sequel. Number 4. Selina, Gotham by Gaslight. Gotham by Gaslight is a classic Elseworld story, but the adaptation made changes, and that is what we have to thank for Selina's appearance here. The film adaptation would see her become an important player, whereas in the comics she hadn't appeared at all, and she has a more classic, non-Frank Miller stripper origin, so yay! She's a socialite who initially is seen campaigning for more police involvement against Jack the Ripper. So in this series she's a theater star, cabaret to be exact, which would be way more scandalous than this movie ever acknowledges. It's a classy, acceptable peep show. She ends up getting involved with Bruce and helping with his investigation and Batmaning, and she knows who he is and all of that. She ends up being crucial to the denouement, which is very different from the comic ending and polarizing. Some love it and are all, woo, vast improvement, and others are, why are you like this? Number 3. Batman Leatherwing. Period piece pirate Catwoman from the 18th century. Capitana Felina, a Spanish Contessa, the cat captain. She fights for loot and equality on the 7 seas. Also, Batman, who she is trying to take down, is Captain Leatherwing. Just very embarrassing all around. This all went down in Detective Comics Annual number 7. Batman is still dressed like Batman, but as a pirate, for reasons. He still has a Robin. And Catwoman, we're talking 90s Catwoman here, people, like cat ears, running a pirate ship, cracking the whip, literally. If you like your period piece AUs and you haven't read this one, it might be a fun one to add to your list. I promise nothing, form your own opinion. Number 2. Batman Returns. The sequel to Tim Burton's Batman changing film, The Batman. It's remembered for a few reasons. Chief amongst them is Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. This is a very different take on Catwoman, a meek employee transformed after learning too much and a murder attempt. This culminates in a head injury that changes her personality and causes her to snap and become Catwoman. That did not happen, it's sad. She then cobbles together an iconic leather costume. Pfeiffer redefined Catwoman for a brief moment, to the point that when the 90s animated series was in production, Selina was designed to look like her, rather than her more traditional raven-haired appearance. This Catwoman had a tragic manic edge and formed a genuine connection with both Bruce Wayne and Batman. This resulted in a chemistry that fans wanted to see more of. Unfortunately, Burton wasn't interested in doing a sequel to that film, so instead we got Batman Forever, which, super unpopular opinion, I think is worse than Batman and Robin. I await your judgment. Number 1. Injustice. Injustice Gods Among Us is just a cool universe in general. So Catwoman has a very similar Year 1 origin going on here, but all that changes when Superman snaps. Selina sides with Bruce against the regime at first, but ultimately joins it and tries to see what she can do / what she can learn from within, and of course making sure she stays safe. This would drive a huge wedge in her relationship with Batman. You know he draws lines in the sand. Hard lines. Like everyone in the Injustice verse, she's just well fleshed out, so I guess this is just check out the Injustice universe. So cool, and spawned from an okay game, but great comic. So who is your favorite version of Catwoman? Let me know. Also, I don't know, tell me something so I can have bonus content and be cool like the cool kids. I'm hip, my drip is hip. I just died a little inside. I'm killing the other people on set, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. See you again soon. Bye.